When I was created, the world was pure heat and intensity. I was shaped by fire, blown by the hands of a craftsman, and every curve of mine was designed to be not only functional, but also beautiful. They say glass is fragile, but I felt invincible. I didn't know exactly what awaited me, but when I saw the ruby liquid that would fill me for the first time, I understood. I would not just be a bottle, I would be a piece of art. My initial destiny was a renowned French vineyard, where grapes were cultivated with an almost poetic care. Every drop of the wine I carried was treated like a jewel, and I, by association, became part of that prestige. When I finally left the vineyard, I was carefully packed and sent to a destination that seemed as luxurious as I was. I arrived at a hall filled with golden lights and people dressed in impeccable clothing. There was laughter, lively conversations in French, English, and even Italian. I was placed on a table covered with fine linens and silverware. When I was opened, the sound of my seal breaking echoed like a sigh of relief in the room. Oh, that moment. I had never felt so special. I saw smiles brighten as the wine was tasted. I heard stories ranging from million-dollar deals to heartfelt confessions. I was the center of attention, even if indirectly. It was as though I had found my ultimate purpose. But, as with everything in life, glamour is fleeting. The wine was gone, the glasses washed, and I was pushed aside without ceremony. Suddenly, what I once carried no longer mattered. I was just an empty bottle. I was placed in a box along with others like me, and sent to a place that seemed the complete opposite of where I had begun. A recycling facility. There, the brilliance of my glass was once again obscured by heat, and my form was lost. And that's when I understood. My existence would not be linear, and my life would not end there. The luxury, the glamour, all of that was just a chapter. A beautiful chapter, but only the beginning of my journey. When I came back into existence, my form was quite different. There were no longer any sophisticated curves or luxurious labels. Now I was a simple glass jar for tomato sauce. My new home was a supermarket shelf, alongside dozens of others like me, all waiting silently to be chosen. I was bought by a middle-aged woman who seemed hurried yet attentive. When I arrived at her house, my life changed completely. Instead of luxurious parties and toasts, I was taken to a cozy kitchen where the smell of garlic and onions frying announced something special. That kitchen was the heart of the home. Children ran around the table while the sauce was prepared with care. My contents became part of simple yet meaningful dishes. Spaghetti on Sundays, impromptu pizzas during the week, and even quick meals for those busier days. I watched the everyday life of that family. I saw the children grow up, argue, and laugh. I witnessed moments of tension, like when a bill didn't seem to add up. But I also saw those comforting hugs that only a family can offer. And for the first time, I began to realize that luxury isn't the only way to find purpose. Sometimes, being part of the simple moments is more meaningful than being the star of a party. But, as always, my time came to an end. When the last bit of sauce was used, I was carefully washed and once again placed to be recycled. I knew what would come next. The heat, the transformation, and a new form. But this time, I left with a different feeling. I had been part of something real, something that didn't need glamour to be important. And so, there I was again, in a pile of broken glass, waiting for the fire to transform me once more. I didn't know what was coming next, but something inside me said my journey was far from over. When I awoke again, I didn't recognize myself. My form was small, delicate, almost ethereal. My glass was now polished like crystal, with shades of blue and gold that reflected light in a mesmerizing way. This time, I didn't carry wine or sauce. Now, I was a perfume bottle. And not just any perfume. I held a rare fragrance, a magical blend of flowers and mysteries. My new home was a fragrant and elegant store. I was displayed in a showcase like a jewel. Every customer who walked in looked at me with desire and curiosity. Until one day I was chosen by a young woman. She held me carefully, tested my fragrance, and smiled. "Perfect," she said. And so a new chapter in my journey began. In that young woman's home, my life gained a new dimension. I wasn't used every day, but on the most special occasions. I accompanied her on romantic dates, the last thing she touched before leaving for an important event. I witnessed nervousness before interviews and celebrations after achievements. But I also bore witness to darker moments. One night, I heard muffled sobs as she held me. It was as if, in some way, my fragrance was a comfort, a reminder that even difficult moments pass. Over time, the liquid inside me diminished. She used me less and less. One day, I was placed in a drawer, forgotten among other old objects. Life there was lonely and dark, and I began to wonder if this was the end. Then, as in all the times before, I was taken to be recycled again. But something was different. My time as a perfume bottle had taught me that sometimes beauty lies in the small moments. And even if my form changed once more, the memories I carried remained. And there I was, back to the heat and transformation. I didn't know what was coming next, but I was ready. My journey wasn't over yet, and something told me my next form would be as meaningful as the previous ones. I didn't know what awaited me, but when I was placed on a supermarket shelf, I could feel there was something different in the air. My new form wasn't luxurious or elegant, but essential. Now, I was a simple bottle of mineral water. My transparency no longer stood out as it once did, and my design was modest, without adornments. But there was something pure in my existence, something fundamental. I was chosen by a man with tired eyes and rough hands. He placed me in his cart alongside fruits, bread, and other simple items. There were no sparkles or parties, but there was a sense of necessity. He took me to his home, and it was there that I truly understood what it means to be something essential. I was his companion during his walk along the trail in the scorching summer heat. I became the breath of someone who needed a pause. The water inside me brought life, quenched thirst, and revitalized. In those moments, I felt more important than at any grand party, more significant than any expensive wine. I was a quiet, yet essential presence. I was there when he climbed the mountain and when he descended to the river. I endured long walks under the sun and moments of rest in the shade of trees. At his home, I became a daily companion. Sometimes, the simplest life is the one that teaches us the most, and so, my new form brought me profound meaning. I was the calm after a run, the relief in the heat. He used me to stay hydrated, but through that, I felt I was accompanying him in more ways than he realized. I was there in his small and big victories, but as always, the time came to an end. When the last drop of water was consumed, I was carefully washed and placed in the pile of bottles to be recycled once again. And I knew the journey wasn't over. With each form, with each cycle, my essence remained. Perhaps the end isn't really the end. Perhaps what we call the end is merely preparation for something new. Now, it doesn't matter what form I take or what I might become. Every transformation, I adapt. In every transformation, there's something to learn. I've been wine, sauce, perfume, and water. Perhaps in the future, I will be something even simpler, perhaps more complex. But what I know, and what I've learned, is that each transformation, no matter how painful, brings with it the chance to start anew, to become something new. I am the bottle, and my story doesn't end here. Neither does yours. Each new cycle is a chance to start over, to be something new, to find meaning in the small things, in the simple and the essential. It doesn't matter who you were yesterday. What matters is who you decide to be today. If you look at my journey, you'll see that in every transformation, there was something to learn. I've been shaped by many hands, different destinies, and diverse purposes. Each form had value, even if, at one point, it was merely a reflection of what I represented to others. And that's what life teaches us. Even if you change, if your form alters, and if time takes you on different paths, what truly matters is the impact you have on the world around you. Today, it doesn't matter what my next form will be, or what comes next. What matters is that every moment of my journey has taught me that true value lies in accepting transformations, and, above all, in realizing that we are never alone in this process. Every time I renew myself, something new is born within me, and so it will be with you. If you enjoyed this journey and believe there are more incredible stories like mine to discover, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Every object has a story to tell, and on Inanimate Memories, we'll explore more of these adventures, transformations, and life lessons. Like, share, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any chapter of this journey. Because, just like me, you never know where the next story will take you.